Thank you. Speaking of Tasmanian taxpayers, Madam Speaker, my question's to the Treasurer. Treasurer, according to statements you've made in around 6 months, your government's socially toxic changes to gambling policy will be introduced to Parliament. In ending the federal monopoly deed and moving to an individual licensing model, which will claim lives and destroy livelihoods, operators and venues will be the beneficiaries of a $250 million windfall gain. Treasurer, the federal group itself, having profited from human misery for the past 40 years, has argued for a favourable tax deal in the new arrangement. As you know, Tasmania already has the lowest table gambling taxes in the country. In the interests of transparency, are you able to update the House on the tax deal being negotiated with your corporate donor? Will they get the sweet deal they're demanding, or an even better one as a reward for their strong support during the last election campaign?
Thank you. The Honourable the Treasurer.
Well, Madam Speaker, I thank the member for that question, and as she's rightly suggested, we are working through the matters in terms of the introduction of our new gaming policy, Madam Speaker, a gaming policy which was resoundingly supported at the last election, Madam Speaker. And I think it behoves me to put on the record, Madam Speaker, just some facts of the matter again in terms of the alarmist language that the member uses. Overall, the participation in gambling in Tasmania has declined.
Has increased.
Real expenditure on electronic gaming machines in Tasmania has continued to trend downwards, Madam Speaker. The adult population susceptible to problem gambling, there has been no increase in that over the last 3 SEISs, Madam Speaker. These are the facts of the matter that the member seems to walk away from every time she brings this issue of gaming to the House. We believe very firmly on this side of the House that Tasmanians are responsible enough to be able to make their own choices, and that they should be allowed to make those choices. Now, that's in contrast to the other side of the House, Madam Speaker. And look, Madam Speaker, the member continues to interject, and it is of no surprise today, on a day when, interestingly enough, they have come closer together in a physical sense, which I don't think anybody could not notice, Madam Speaker, that it was Labor and the Greens, Madam Speaker, that took a similar gambling policy to the election to remove choice from Tasmanians. And it is of no surprise that today that you would raise this issue in this House in an attempt to set yourself apart from Labor, who, once again, I think it should be pointed out, have backflipped not only...
Treasurer, I have a point of order.
I hope you don't regard this as a frivolous point of order. It is important, understanding Order 45, that the Treasurer addresses the question which relates to tax negotiations with the federal group.
Well, as you know, it's not a point of order, and I am considering frivolous points of order because everyone here is quite experienced as a warning, so I'm afraid I have to give you one, Ms O'Connor.
Well, Madam Speaker...
Can I just get some clarification, Madam Speaker?
You may.
Does that mean we are no longer able to raise Standing Order 45 relevance, which is our right in this place?
Yes, it is, but once you raise it and it's clearly out of order, it's out of order. And it's just becoming a habit to distract and waste the taxpayers' money. So I think everyone raising a point of order needs to... I don't care. It's a new precedence. This is the thing. We have had nothing but frivolous points of order to distract sensible debate. So it stops as of today. Please proceed.
Just on the point of order, Madam Speaker, I just state that it is not frivolous to ask the Treasurer to address his mind to the question.
That might be the case, but it is not going to get you the answer because I cannot put the words into the mouth of the Minister, as you well know. And until someone's prepared to take Standing Order 45 back to the Standing Orders Committee and discuss it more broadly, we are stuck with it. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not on the committee.
Well, Madam Speaker, thank you. And to be clear, I actually answered your question in the opening couple of sentences where I said that the process is underway of the negotiation in terms of the introduction of our new gaming policy, which, as I've clearly stated to the House, will be dealt with by legislation early next year. And obviously, Madam Speaker, then this place and the upper house and the public of Tasmania will have an opportunity to have a say on what's included in that particular policy, Madam Speaker. But where I was, Madam Speaker, was pointing out, again, the political opportunism of the member in raising this today with a view to run on an issue where she thinks that there is separation between herself and the Labor Party. And again,
you are so cynical.
well, it's a statement of fact. It is a statement of fact as to why you've done that. You've been around long enough, and so have I.
Order! Through the chair, please,
Now, Madam
Treasurer.
Speaker, it does, though, bring me back to my point that I was making, Madam Speaker, that, again, the Labor Party, Madam Speaker, stand for nothing. And regardless of the efforts of the member that has asked this question, again, the record of this House indicates that on more than 9 out of 10 occasions, Labor and the Greens have continued to vote together in this term of Parliament, Madam Speaker. 9 out of 10 occasions, Madam Speaker. Only 2 weeks ago we saw the Labor Party make the claim that they would focus on the economy and on jobs, Madam Speaker. And what we've watched is 2 weeks of absolute malfunction, Madam Speaker, dysfunction, Madam Speaker. Rebecca White's leadership in this place, Madam Speaker, is on a very, very thin tightrope, Madam Speaker. The clock is ticking, Madam Speaker. Make no mistake.